Class 12th student. Today again I am going to start chapter 8. Topic is problem of deficit demand and excess demand. This is part 2. In the previous video I had told you about what is excess demand and what is deficient demand. Okay? Now, when you talk about the excess demand, तो what is excess? यानी AD. AD is going to be more in compared to aggregate supply corresponding to full employment level. Corresponding to full employment level. Okay, student? So this is the condition of excess demand. If we draw the diagram, so this is your aggregate supply, this is your aggregate demand. If we get, because of investment, if this aggregate demand curve become AD1, okay, so this gap is going to represent this E and this F is going to represent excess demand, yeah, inflationary gap. Now talk about the deficit demand. So in this condition there will be deficiency of demand. It's mean deficit demand is related to what? Less demand. It is related to what? It is related to less demand. On the other hand, excess demand is related to what? It is related to extra demand. Okay, after the full employment level. Okay, in deficit demand, AD is going to be less than aggregate supply corresponding to full employment level. When we draw the diagram, so this is your aggregate supply and this is your aggregate demand for full employment. But what happened in the economy, the aggregate demand is only this AD1, and because of this LM point represent what? Deflationary gap, yeah, deficit demand. Okay, so this much we had learned in the yesterday video. What will be the impact on employment, output and general price level? So if we talk about output, employment and general price level. So in condition of excess demand, output there will be no change, employment there will be no change, general prices level is going to be high. So these are the condition we find in the case of excess demand. If there is the condition of deficit demand, so output will reduce, employment will reduce and general price level is also reduced. So this we find in the case of deficit demand. Okay, so this is the impact. Now in this video we are going to understand how we can overcome this problem, how we can correct this excess demand or deficit demand problem. And again there will be equilibrium condition. When we get the equilibrium condition, when AD is equal to AS, so how we are again going to reach this point? So this video is related to this topic, and in this way this chapter is going to be over. Okay, so this much for this video, but this chapter is very important for your board examination. Okay. Now, policy measures to control excess demand or deficit demand. So when we talk about these disbalance or disequilibrium, so basically there are two measures to control it: fiscal policy and monetary policy. Fiscal policy is related to government. On the other hand, monetary policy is related to RBI. Okay, RBI is what? It is our central government. Okay, so fiscal policy is related to whom? Fiscal policy is related to government, and monetary policy is related to RBI. Okay, now we are going to learn it in detail. What do you mean by fiscal policy? So fiscal policy means it is budgetary policy related to the government, okay, and it is related to revenue and expenditure of the government with the view to correct situation of excess demand or deficit demand. Okay, in very simple language, fiscal policy is related to those policy of government that is taken to correct excess demand or deficit demand. Now, what are the instrument? Yeah, what are the things come in under the fiscal policy or budgetary policy? So within that there are four things: tax, public expenditure, deficit demand, and government expenditure. Okay, now we are going to understand it in detail. Now first is tax. Tax is what? It is very important. Tax is a compulsory payment. Remember, tax is compulsory payment imposed by government on public, and no one can deny to pay it. Okay, now there are two type of tax: direct and indirect. What is direct tax? So it cannot be shifted on another person. Okay, on the other hand, indirect taxes can be shifted on another person. In its detail you will learn in government chapter. Okay, government budget. Okay, now next is public debt or borrowing. So it is related to those borrowing that taken by the government from the public by issuing securities. Okay, now deficit financing, so it is related to, it is very important. So you have to remember for the 1 marks and for the 3 marks. So this question and this question is very important. What do you mean by tax? So tax is compulsory payment. What is keyword? Compulsory payment. Now if you talk about the deficit financing, so deficit financing, it is related to issuing more currency to meet budgetary deficit. Okay, if government is expending more than its income, so it require to arrange the money. So in this case government do deficit financing, yani ki with the help of the RBI, government is going to print new notes, and in this way there will be supply of more currency in the economy. So this is known as a deficit financing. Okay, it is also the topic of government budget, so we are going to learn in detail there. Okay, so I think this much you are able to understand, student. Now, so in very short, if I talk about the fiscal policy, so fiscal policy is related to whom? It is related to government. Okay, and within that there are taxes. Second, taxes are compulsory payment. Second is public borrowing. Okay, that is taken by the government from the public. Third is government expenditure. Fourth is deficit financing. Deficit financing. Deficit financing is related to what? Issuing new notes or currency. Okay, so this much topic will come under the fiscal policy. Now next is monetary policy. So what is monetary policy? Monetary policy refers to the policy of the central bank of the country to control money supply or credit in the economy. So whatever policy taken by the central government यानी कि RBI in India to control money supply and to control credit creation, that is considered as a monetary policy. Okay student. So within that there are two instruments, quantitative and qualitative. Within the quantitative there are bank rate, repo rate, reverse repo rate, open market operation. Within legal reserve ratio here are two things, SLR and CRR. Okay. Now qualitative, margin requirement, moral शासन, selective credit control. Okay. Actually this is the detailed topic of your chapter 6 banking system. When we learn the central bank, so it within its function credit control it is given. Actually it is deleted by the CBSE there, but it is again in this chapter, and again you will learn in the government budget also. Okay, so in this way actually it is deleted but not it is properly deleted, so you have to learn. Okay, so monetary policy that is adopted by the RBI for what? To control credit and to control money supply. Within that there are two things, quantitative and qualitative. Okay, now so we are going to learn one by one in detail. Bank rate. What is bank rate? So it is the minimum rate at which central bank of a country gives credit to commercial bank to meet long term needs. Remember, bank rate it is related to what? It is related to providing loan to commercial bank. Or who gives loan? RBI. And which type of loan? It is long term loan. Okay. Repo rate, same definition, but it is related to short term needs. Okay, repo rate is the rate at which central bank of a country gives credit to the commercial bank. One more thing, here we require securities. In bank rate we don't require, but here we require security. Okay, to meet short term needs. Now रिवर्स रेपो रेट, इट इज़ जस्ट अपोजिट. अभी तक हम दोनों में क्या पढ़े थे कि जो सेंट्रल बैंक है वो लोन दे रहा है, किसको दे रहा है? कॉमर्शियल बैंक को. अभी रिवर्स रेपो रेट में क्या होता है कि अगर रिजर्व बैंक को मनी की ज़रूरत है, रिजर्व बैंक नीड्स मनी, तो व्हाट इट विल डू, इट विल टेक्स लोन फ्रॉम कॉमर्शियल बैंक एट अ हाई इंटरेस्ट रेट. So in this way, commercial bank park their extra reserve to central bank, and they enjoy high interest rate. So this is your reserve repo rate, just opposite. If you talk about the repo rate, central bank gives loan to commercial बैंक. ओके, और अभी क्या हो रहा है? रिवर्स रेपो रेट. यहाँ पे कॉमर्शियल बैंक्स गिव्स लोन टू सेंट्रल बैंक. They do this when they are having extra reserve with themselves. Okay, and when RBI is paying high interest rate on it, so they will park their money to RBI to earning money. Okay, so what is written here? It is the rate at which commercial bank park their extra reserve with RBI through the purchase of RBI security to earn extra income, otherwise idle cash reserve. Okay, now open market operation. So this is very important. Open market is what? It is related to purchase and sale of government security in the open market यानी कि पब्लिक एंड कॉमर्शियल बैंक बाय द सेंट्रल बैंक. तो जो सेंट्रल बैंक होती है वो सिक्योरिटी सेल करती है. किसको सेल करती है? पब्लिक को और कॉमर्शियल बैंक को. ओके, now next is variant legal reserve requirement. So there are two things, cash reserve ratio, RCRR. Next is statutory liquidity ratio. Okay, for remembering, because both are having the same concept, bank have to keep minimum reserve, in one case with themselves and in another case with the central bank. तो याद रखना कि C for central, C for what? C for central, and S for themselves. तो ये एस याद रखना. ओके, तो इसमें क्या होता है कि जो मिनिमम परसेंटेज है उनकी टोटल डिपॉजिट्स का, नेट और टाइम लाइबिलिटीज़ का, उसका कुछ परसेंटेज उन्हें सेंट्रल बैंक के पास रखना होता है. तो दैट इज़ कंसिडर एज अ कैश रिजर्व रेशियो. तो व्हाट इज़ रिटन? इट इज़ द मिनिमम परसेंटेज ऑफ द डिपॉजिट ऑफ कॉमर्शियल बैंक which is kept with the RBI, kept with the central bank. So remember, CRR, C for central. So keep minimum reserve keep with RBI. So cash reserve ratio is related to what? The minimum amount that is kept by commercial bank with सेंट्रल बैंक. वो मिनिमम परसेंटेज जो सारे कॉमर्शियल बैंक को सेंट्रल बैंक्स के पास रखना होता है. क्यों रखना होता है? वाई दे हैव टू केप्ट? सो दैट जो इंटर बैंकिंग ट्रांजेक्शन है इट कैन बी स्मूथली डन, एंड बैंक हैव टू, देयर इज़ नो नीड टू डू हैंड ट्रांजेक्शन. देयर विल बी account transactions, so to reduce cash transactions. Okay, and there will be no problem. Okay, interbanking transactions. Now if we talk about statutory liquidity ratio, so every commercial bank have to keep money with themselves. Why? So that they are able to meet their day to day demand for money. Like if you are having account in any bank, if you want to withdraw 2,000 money and you are having 10,000, so you can go and you can withdraw 2,000 money. So the bank have to keep this much money ki the any customer will come who are having the account, they can withdraw whatever money they want to withdraw. According to the bank limit, they can withdraw. So it creates faith in banking system. So that is why they keep money with themselves, so that they are able to fulfill demand deposit and time deposit liability. What is written here? It is the percentage of deposits of commercial bank which every bank is required to maintain with itself in the form of designated liquid assets. Okay, so I think this much you are able to understand. These are the qualitative instrument. Okay, now quantitative instrument has been completed. Now we are talking about qualitative instrument. So in qualitative instrument there are three things. First is imposing margin requirement. What is margin requirement? So margin is the difference between the market value of the security offered by the borrower against the loan and the amount of the loan. Suppose there is a person, it is having a piece of land and its market value is 10 lakh. But any bank is not going to give equally 10 lakh as a loan. How much a bank is going to give as a loan, it depends upon the margin requirement, and it is decided by the RBI. Okay, if it is 60%, so it's mean you are allowed to give 40% as a loan, yani ki 40 lakh, the farmer will get 40 lakh. Okay, if margin requirement is 30, so it means 70 lakh, the farmer gets 70 lakh. Okay, now moral shasan are direct action. So it is combination of pre-shasan and pressure that the central bank applies to other bank in order to get them fall in the line with its policy. It is done through the letters, speeches and hints to the bank. In very simple language, it is related that कि इकोनॉमी में अगर एक्सेस डिमांड है तो जो भी आरबीआई बोल रही है वैसे आपको जो पॉलिसी कह रही है उसे आपको फॉलो करना है, नहीं करोगे तो आपके ऊपर एक्शन लिया जाएगा, ठीक है। जैसे एक्सेस डिमांड है तो आपको सप्लाई को आपको क्रेडिट कम देना है, अगर डेफिसिट डिमांड है तो आपको क्रेडिट ज़्यादा देना है, ओके। तो यू हैव टू फॉलो द पॉलिसी ऑफ आरबीआई, इफ़ यू आर नॉट फॉलोइंग तो देयर कैन बी टेकन स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन, ओके। it is like just a teacher as a guardian, okay. First of all we give you warning, complete your work. Sometime we do harsh punishment. When you don't listen anything, then we contact your guardian. So these are the things. The same way RBI is what? RBI is the apex body. So it is the responsibility of RBI to maintain economic stability. So for maintaining economic stability, it follow specified policy. So within this, all the commercial bank have to follow whatever RBI wants, okay. Now selective credit control. So here they have to give loan according to the priority. If there is a excess demand condition, so there will be contraction, or if there is deficit, so there will be extension, okay. So we are going to learn it in detail, okay. So ultimately what we have learned in the monetary policy, in monetary policy we had learned about repo rate, bank rate, reverse repo rate, SLR, CRR, open market operation, okay. So SLR में they have to keep with themselves, they have to minimum reserve with themselves, okay, of their total net and time liabilities. And in CRR, C for cash, C for central, so with central bank, okay. It is related to sell and purchase of securities, okay. Bank rate, repo rate and bank rate both are what? In both the cases, central bank gives loan to commercial bank. In reverse repo rate, commercial bank park excess reserve to RBI, यानी central bank, okay. And SLR, they keep fixed minimum amount with themselves. In CRR, they keep fixed minimum amount with the central bank, okay. Now we are going to understand. So monetary measures to control excess demand are inflationary gap. देखो, monetary or budgetary policy, whatever adopted by the government. So what is the aim? In excess demand condition, the aim is decreasing the availability of credit by reducing money supply. जो AD1 यहाँ पे है उसे वापस रिड्यूस करके AD0 करना, AD1 को डिक्रीज करके वापस क्या कर देना, AD0. तो दिस इज द एम एट द टाइम ऑफ एक्सेस डिमांड, ओके. नाउ मेजर्स टू कंट्रोल excess demand. So fiscal policy, tax will increase, government expenditure will decrease, public debt will increase, एंड डेफिसिट फाइनेंसिंग विल डिक्रीज, ओके, या फिर लेस कर दिया जाता है. इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट द मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी, सो सेल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी विल बी स्टार्टेड. Repo rate, reverse repo rate, bank rate, SLR, CRR, all these are increased. Why? So that there will be less money supply. Less money supply means less demand. Less demand will be excess demand is going to be corrected. Okay, and all these are related to what? All these are related to quantitative measures. Now margin requirement, it is increased. Selective credit कंट्रोल, तो देयर विल बी कंट्रैक्शन ऑफ क्रेडिट, यानी कि लेस अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ क्रेडिट टू द पब्लिक. ओके, मोरल सॉशन, डियर मनी पॉलिसी. सो RBI say to all commercial bank they have to release less credit so that there will be less money supply, and in response AD will reduce and extra demand can be corrected. Okay, so all these three are related to qualitative measures. So in simple way, starting these four are related to fiscal policy, these are related to monetary policy, and this much is your quantitative, and all these three are related to qualitative. Okay, now why these things are done. So all the decisions we had learned in fiscal are monetary, like repo rate, reverse repo rate, bank rate, margin requirement, all these are increases. In open market operation, sale of security, ठीक है, expenditure will reduces, tax will increases, deficit financing will become less. So all these are adopted. So why adopted? Because when these are things happen, so there will be demand for credit will reduces, less money goes to economy, purchasing power will curtail, AD falls, and excess demand is corrected. Remember कि what is excess demand? Excess demand, if you talk about excess demand, so it is related to what? It is related to extra money supply, and because of this extra money supply, AD will increase, and result is excess डिमांड या इन्फ्लेशनरी गैप. तो इस कंडीशन में गवर्नमेंट का टारगेट क्या होना चाहिए? टू रिड्यूस मनी सप्लाई. ओके, जब मनी सप्लाई रिड्यूस होगा तो एडी विल फॉल, एंड इन रिस्पॉन्स एक्सेस डिमांड इज करेक्टेड. ओके, okay, so this is the thing that is done at the time of excess demand. Excess demand मतलब extra purchasing power. Why? Because extra money supply in the market. Okay, and AD increases, there will be inflation, there will be excess demand, the condition. Okay, so in this case what they have to done, economy have to reduce this excess money. Suppose कि there are 10 goods are purchased, economy केवल 10x का purchase कर सकती है. Okay, तो in this way, लेकिन लोग 12x का परचेस करना चाहते हैं और उनके पास 2x परचेस करने के लिए मनी है, तो इकॉनमी को क्या करना होगा? सपोज़ करो कि पर यूनिट 1x को परचेस करने के लिए उन्हें 10 रुपये चाहिए, यानी उनके पास 100 रुपीज़ होना चाहिए, लेकिन उनके पास हो गया है 120 रुपीज़. तो उन्हें इस 20 रुपीज़ को क्या करना होगा? वापस गवर्नमेंट के पास जाना चाहिए. जब ये 20 रुपीज़ रहेगा ही नहीं तो वो 12x का डिमांड करेंगे ही नहीं. समझ में आया? तो दिस इज़ द aim of government at the time of excess demand. So this is done. Why these measures are taken? So there will be less money goes to economy, purchasing power will reduce, ultimately AD fall, and excess demand is corrected. Okay, now it is time to deficit demand. At the time of deficit demand, what government want? Increase in credit, इंक्रीज इन मनी सप्लाई, यानी जो एडी यहाँ पे उसका एम क्या है, उसे एडी ज़ीरो करना। तो उसे क्या करना होगा, इंजेक्ट करना होगा एक्स्ट्रा मनी, इंजेक्ट करना होगा एक्स्ट्रा मनी सप्लाई, एक्स्ट्रा मनी पावर इकॉनमी को देना होगा, तभी वो डिमांड को बढ़ाएंगे। जैसे अभी कोविड-19 के टाइम पे लोगों के पास इनकम ही नहीं है कि वो डिमांड करें। अब लोगों की इनकम इंक्रीज़ करनी होगी, उनके हाथों में पैसे देने होंगे, उन्हें मनी अवेलेबल कराना होगा। जब वो डिमांड करेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिक जो डेफिसिट डिमांड की प्रॉब्लम है, लेस डिमांड की प्रॉब्लम है, वो करेक्ट हो जाएगी और डिमांड इंक्रीज़ होके एडी ज़ीरो हो जाएगा, जो होना चाहिए फॉर द फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट। ओके, नाउ so in the case of deficit demand, what government will do? So under the fiscal policy, tax will be reduced. When tax will be reduced, more money will be available for expanding, so AD will increase. Government will start more new project, so there will be increase in money supply and aggregate demand will increase. Deficit financing, when government will print new notes, so there will be more supply of money, aggregate demand will increase and problem of deficit demand will decrease. Public debit, so government started to take less loan from the public are going to have more money because government is not taking money from the public, they are taking money from other sources. So in this way public are going to have the money and they are going to demand. Okay, now talk about the monetary policy. So RBI started to purchase of security. When RBI purchase the security, so whenever you purchase anything, in return what you will do, you make the payment. In this way money will circulate in the economy and there will be increase in aggregate demand. Repo rate, when repo rate will reduce, so taking loan become less costly. Same thing with bank rate also, taking loan become less costly. Reverse repo rate, it will reduces, so they don't park their reserve to RBI. Beside that they give this money to public. वो क्या होता है कि जब इंटरेस्ट रेट कम हो जाएगा तो वो RBI को देना लाइक नहीं करेंगे, इसकी बजाय वो किसको देना लाइक करेंगे, पब्लिक को। तो पब्लिक के बीच में पैसा जाएगा, वो और अधिक डिमांड करेंगे। ओके, नाउ SLR CRR, जब इसको रिड्यूस कर देंगे तो बैंकों के पास ज़्यादा पैसे होंगे तो ज़्यादा क्रेडिट क्रिएशन कर पाएंगे, ज़्यादा क्रेडिट क्रिएशन होगा तो ज़्यादा मनी सप्लाई होगा, ज़्यादा मनी सप्लाई यानी कि देयर विल बी मोर डिमांड मीन्स there will be corrected the problem of deficit demand. Okay, so all these are related to what? Quantitative measures. Now talk about the margin requirement. It will reduce if it is only 30%. It's mean that ki if land is of 10 lakh, so when it is 30%, so it means ki bank are free to give 70 lakh as a loan and they have to 70,000 as a loan and 30 they have to keep as a margin requirement. Okay, now moral Sassan, to RBI is going to follow cheap money policy. Why? Because the aim of RBI is to increase money supply, so that is the reason. Now selective credit control extension, so within that there will be extension of credit. RBI aim is that ki every sector is given more and more credit. When there will be more credit, there will be more demand. Okay, more credit, more money supply, more demand, and the problem of less demand is going to be reduced. Now, so in this way, when these measures are taken, so what will happen? More money goes to economy, purchasing power is increased, AD rises and deficit demand is corrected. Okay student, so what we had learned ki if there is problem of deficit demand, okay, so deficit demand is related to what? Less demand. It is related to less demand in the economy. In this condition, what will be the aim of government and RBI? To increase money supply. to increase money supply. Okay, and for when there will be increase in money supply, in response purchasing power will increase, and in response AD will increase, and problem of deficit demand is corrected. Okay, so this is the solution of the deficit demand. Now here is given all the detail in one page. Okay, you can see here कि when there is a condition of excess demand, what we follow, when there is a condition of deficit demand, what we follow. Whatever I had told, that is written. Okay, thank you for today.